How do you actually get a developer job now that ChatGPT is out? There are so many layoffs out there. Do you even have that certainty that if you are actually doing the work, will you be getting that first developer job? And the reason why I'm making this video is because I have been hit up a bunch of times by people in the comments asking me if it's even worth it, asking me like, how can we actually overcome the fact that, nobody wants to hire juniors and all this stuff. This video is gonna be a bit all over the place because my mind is working and I'm trying to explain to you my opinion in this. As much as I want to tell you that everything is going to be fine, the reality is that things are getting harder. It's not just about web development in general, but in every single industry that is out there and is making money and in one way or another, things are oversaturated. There is a lot of competition in literally any single thing that you want to attempt. Do you want to do dropshipping? Okay, good luck. Every 20-year-old is doing dropshipping. Do you want to start a social media marketing agency? Good luck. Everyone is doing that. There are so many courses and agencies out there that are struggling. Do you want to become a designer? Good luck. Becoming a designer and becoming a dropshipper, starting a social media marketing agency and all this stuff, the barrier of entry for those niches is so low that literally everyone and their dog is doing it, but not so many people are successful. If you want to become a developer, good luck. There are so many courses on Udemy, Coursera, whatever it's out there. Everyone is literally out there trying to learn a skill to make money. Literally everyone. If you are not doing that, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Like, making money should be your main priority if you do not have the type of money that you want, okay? But the truth is that everyone is trying to make money in one way or another. Or maybe let's say 50% of the people are trying to make some sort of money. The other 50% are just living the way they are living, right? They just cruise. If you want to learn a skill, if you want to get out of one situation that you are in, one of the things that you have to accept is that there is a lot of competition. There is so much competition out there that if I tell you, you'll be discouraged, yeah? You cannot avoid it, right? There is a lot of competition, and on top of that, we have this AI. Let's talk about this AI for a little bit. So AI was expected for a few years. We were just thinking about how good it will be, how impacted we will be as developers and whatnot. And now we got a taste of how AI actually works, right? We don't really know the capabilities of AI. But the reality is that AI is going to be used by all the industries that are out there. Is this something to be scared of? Honestly, when I first heard of it, I was a little bit scared. Okay, how is this gonna impact my business? And how is this going to impact my clients, right? Those were the two things that I was thinking about. And the conclusion that I came to is that you cannot fight the change. Maybe it's not the conclusion that you were expecting me to, tell you, but the conclusion is that you cannot fight the change. You need to figure out how to embrace the change, because there have been so many changes in the past, 2000 years. Every century there was a new change, and things have changed. The people who prospered the most were the ones who were embracing the change, and then the people who were contributing to the change. Figure out how to contribute to the change, or how to, use this new opportunity, which is AI. You actually have to use it. So I'm not really afraid anymore of AI. I'm actually embracing it, and I'll see how things work out. I'm definitely not jumping into a course on how to, create a SaaS application with AI and whatnot. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I want to give you some sort of peace of mind after you finish watching this video. That peace of mind is the fact that don't use the bad things that are happening. You were not expecting to happen when you first chose this industry. Don't let those things become crutches that will stop you from learning the skill that you actually wanted to learn in the first place. We always have to learn skills. If you want to be a happy person, if you want to be a fulfilled person, you have to keep learning stuff, right? You need to keep improving your mind in one way or another. If you stop learning, you'll become stupid, right? So screw this AI and just focus on becoming a better person by learning more stuff, becoming more useful. Because the more stuff you learn, the more opportunities you will get, right? okay, I'm on YouTube, right? And I have this business, which is teaching people programming. But I would not be able to start this business if I wouldn't learn code, right? And before I started learning code, I learned music. And I'm 100% sure that if I wouldn't learn music in the first place, I would not be able to learn code. Why? Because music taught me English. I learned English because I wanted to learn music. And if it wasn't for learning music, I would have not learned English, and then I would have not learned programming. So the idea is that you learn a skill, and with that skill, you never know where you'll get. The problem with most people, and with people in general, and with me, is that we are only seeing like 1 week ahead. We don't see like 5-10 years ahead. But if I would have not tried to learn music when I was very young, then I would have not developed this self-taught process that I have, right? Because I can teach myself any skill, and if I have a mentor and all this stuff, I'm learning even faster, right? But I have this ability to teach myself stuff, and I developed that when I was learning music. So then I've learned music, I was able to learn programming, then I was able to figure out other skills like marketing and sales to build a business, and then I've learned other skills like speaking in front of a camera, etc., etc. I have many skills. I believe to a certain extent that I'm a valuable person because I have a unique combination of skills. And for you, if coding is your first skill, don't give up because you heard some sort of like AI bullshit and whatnot, right? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, AI is here, but the AI is very vanilla still. I've tried it a few times and it's decent, but it's very vanilla. Like I can detect it, I can see that it's very, very basic. And same for writing code, it's very basic. Like you cannot write the entire code base of Facebook with AI. It's impossible, right? Maybe you can create a very simple product, you know, that you can release to the public and you can make hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars on the side if you identify a problem and if you are a good enough programmer to ask the right questions to the AI. Yes, you can probably do that. I haven't tried it, but if I would have gave myself a challenge to do that, probably I would be able to do it. But this is just a tool, and to be able to use the tool properly and to unleash the power of this tool, you need to have the skills, right? So your main goals, your entire life. I know probably you are in your 20s, the majority of my audience is in their 20s. Your entire 20s and even 30s should be dedicated to building skills. That's my honest opinion. Skills, traits, like being disciplined, you know, like giving your word and actually doing the thing, which is something that I'm working on still. Discipline is not really my main forte, if that makes sense. And belief systems, right? Belief systems are like programs that are installed in your head. You can get these beliefs from a YouTube video like mine, or you can get a belief from your parents, from the school. You know, people are inserting programs in your brain and then you are operating using that program that runs in your brain, and you are making all your life decisions based on that program. So for example, if someone said once that you are stupid, you'll just automatically react to everything with that paradigm, right? Maybe someone told you this when you were 5. I'm not saying someone did, but just for you to have a point, right? If someone told you money is bad, you shouldn't make a lot of money, then probably you have that limiting belief in your head. You can install the beliefs, you can remove them, your brain, which is like the main engine of your entire life, can be manipulated in the way that you want. If you let all this like negative news impact you, you'll always make decisions based on like whatever is happening outside of your, you know, control, and you'll not get very, very far. So to kind of wrap up this video, you can still become a programmer in 2023 and in the next 5 to 10 years, okay? There's no problem, but things are getting more difficult. The first phase of learning any skill, such as programming, is to get going. A lot of people have a problem with this. They delay the start from the moment they start thinking about it, right? They think about, I should become a programmer, and then 3 months pass by till they actually start doing it. Get going is one phase, and this is more like a mental hurdle more than anything. Just get going. And the next phase is get good. And this is a very vast and gray area. If you want to get started, you can join my free program. I have a free program there where I show you how to get good at HTML and CSS and build websites. That's going to be like a solid foundation for you to learn JavaScript and all that stuff. But to get good, I have identified a few things that matter quite a lot. The first thing is to be consistent, and you heard this a lot. The next thing is don't give up. If you decided to do something, there is a reason why you decided to do it. So you have to stick with it even though it feels like it's never going to work. As cliché as it is, that is very important. The next thing after that is to have self-reflection. Removing yourself from your body and becoming your harshest critic. Okay, what can I do better here? What's wrong with this? Even though like programming is like pretty difficult, right? But if you just make an HTML and CSS website, if it looks like shit, like you should be able to tell if something looks like shit, you know what I mean? Like you need to develop some sort of self-awareness to a certain extent. You have to be your harshest critic because nobody will tell you when you suck. It's better to say that you suck and not suck than telling yourself that you don't suck but you suck, if that makes sense, okay? And the next thing that I would say that's very important is to look at what people want and give them exactly that, right? So what does that mean? Well, let's say you are selling hot dogs, yeah? And if you want to sell hot dogs and you go into a mall, yeah, you might sell a couple of hot dogs, right? But if you sell hot dogs and then you go to some sort of football match and everyone there is starving because they've been drinking so much, the chances of you selling all the hot dogs are going through the roof, right? So a starving market. If you have the best hot dog in the mall, you might not sell that many. But if you have the shittiest hot dog and the starving market, you'll be making a lot of money. So if you figure out what are the skills that you need to learn and you learn them to a specific standard, then you'll be making a lot of money and you'll be very prosperous. Another thing that I want to say here is that it's not important that you gave your best. I always talk about this with my students. Like I have one specific guy, he's like, oh, I've done my best. I don't care that you've done your best. Like you are at this stage right now, and from you at this stage is expected for this thing to be done in this way. Like you cannot come to me with excuses like, oh, I didn't know, I blah, 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 all this bullshit, you know, like how kids do it. Like you cannot come to me with that. So you need to do what's expected, right? Not your best, because your best might be actually extremely shit, right? And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but your best might be extremely, extremely bad. And that's why you won't be hired, right? Not because someone has something to do with you, not because you are a junior, it's because you're not valuable enough, you don't understand the market. And to understand the market, the only way is to be in the market. And that's why when juniors say something like, I'm so passionate about programming, solving problems, blah, 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 but they've never actually solved the real problem. They only solved the login system, you know, like it takes them like 2-3 hours in copying some stuff from a tutorial. And juniors don't understand why people don't want them. And the reason why people don't want them is because juniors don't know what is required in the market. That type of experience is very difficult to acquire without having experience. Like the way I managed to sprinkle that with my clients is by making them work in a team project. They've built a bunch of apps by themselves and now they have to work in a team, right? They have their own tasks. They have to deliver certain tasks. They have to do things that, you know, they have no video tutorial for, right? Because I have some videos for specific parts and then after that, good luck. You need to use the docs. So they need to learn all those skills. The only thing that's missing is the fact that I'm not gonna fire them. And that's also very important. If you do not have that urgency or fear that someone is gonna dismiss you if you mess up, you won't be getting the full vibe of it, you know? To be honest, it sucks for me because, you know, I'm selling this stuff, right? I'm selling like, not course, but I'm selling help for this stuff. And last year it was easier. Less work, faster hires and whatnot. And now I have this extra problem and I had to fix it by adding more stuff, giving more value, more of my time, more blah, blah, blah for the same price. It doesn't really help me, but we have to do what we have to do to become successful. If you stay at home and you cry about it, you won't be making that much of a difference, you know what I mean? Figure out the game and figure out a way to beat the game rather than crying about the game. Because there are people out there that are doing more than you, they are smarter than you, they are more street smart than you, that will figure it out before you and they will take the opportunity from you. Because as a junior or someone that wants to get into the industry, you'll be competing with people that have 5, 10 years of experience. You're competing with people that worked at Google, Amazon, Facebook, you know, all these companies. That's the reality. And whoever tries to sell you this idea that the job market is like welcoming is lying. You know, it looks like that, you know, on the outside. Oh, we are so positive, you know, the tech industry is so positive and nice and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, like, there is a lot of money in this tech industry, right? And people are doing a lot of things for PR. But the reality is that people won't spend money on you if you do not make them money, right? Would you spend money on someone or something that's not gonna make you money? Probably not. So why would someone else do that? Why do you have that expectation from someone else? So you have to become that person, that developer that's gonna get a job in one way or another. That should be your mentality. Because otherwise, you won't make it in programming, you won't make it in anything. Because it's everywhere. It's becoming, every single industry becomes more and more and more difficult to get into. That's it. So just remove this thing from your brain. I know it's difficult, but remove it because it doesn't help you. Like, it doesn't help you in any way. I just cannot see how having this thought in your mind can help you improve in any way. Because it honestly doesn't, bro. It really doesn't. So that's my rant for today. I hope you liked it. It's gonna be good. One thing that I'm excited about, to be honest, is that because things are getting so much harder to break into, they'll become more valuable. It's getting harder to get into, right? So the supply is gonna become smaller and the demand is gonna become bigger. So always think about it like that. If we are in the bear market, what do? We invest, right? Just, this thing just came through my mind right now. This is a bear market, right? So I'm thinking the demand is gonna grow and the supply is gonna go down. So I think it's the opposite of how the stock. I'm really bad at that shit. Anyway, if you wanna be part of what I do and learn code in an efficient way and fast, without having to endure so much shit and do random stuff all day, you can apply for a free consultation call. I'll show you how the whole system works and you'll be on your way to becoming a front-end developer. Cheers.